Teresa Giudice drops hint she's leaving RHONJ. The fate of the Real Housewives of New Jersey is up in the air after a tense season. The season 14 cast couldn't even get along enough to film a reunion. Instead, they separately watched the footage from the final episode and shared their reactions in real time. Teresa Giudice fueled rumors that she's not returning for another season with her social media activity. Keep reading to find out what she said. RHONJ said. The Real Housewives of New Jersey was the fourth of the popular Bravo series to air. Teresa Giudice is the only OG left after 14 seasons. However, rumors persist that the entire cast will be replaced for the next season. The season 14 cast reportedly refused to film a reunion special, leaving the show's future up in the air. Is it the end of an era for Teresa Giudice? Teresa Giudice drops hint she's leaving Bravo show. Firing an entire cast and bringing in newbies has been done on Bravo before. They fired all of the Real Housewives of New York stars in 2022 after allegations of racism and other problematic behavior. An all-new cast led season 14 of RHONJ, and the newbies are all returning for season 15, when it premieres on Bravo on October 1st. A final decision about RHONJ is still in question. But did Teresa Giudice confirm she was leaving the show with a series of cryptic social media posts? She shared an inspirational quote about moving on. She also shared another quote about becoming strong by going through things meant to destroy. Twitter user @LoveCindyC shared screenshots of the quotes. Fans react to her cryptic posts. The cryptic quotes about her future come as Teresa Giudice and her husband, Louis Ruiz, enjoy a European vacation to celebrate their second wedding anniversary. Bravo fans commented on the screenshots of Teresa's quotes with a mix of glee and skepticism. Check out some of the best comments. The atmosphere of the Gorga family barbecue was unusually tense. Teresa Giudice, iconic star of the Real Housewives of New Jersey for over a decade, stood near the edge of the patio, her signature long hair cascading over her shoulders, her eyes fixed on the horizon. She held a glass of sparkling water, her mood as effervescent as the drink. But something was different. There was an air of finality to her demeanor, an unspoken weight that those closest to her could sense. "You okay, Tre?" Melissa Gorga asked, her tone cautious. She'd learned over the years that approaching Teresa required a delicate balance, too much concern, and Teresa would push back, too little, and she'd feel abandoned. Teresa offered a tight-lipped smile. "Yeah, just thinking." But thinking about what? That was the question on everyone's mind as the cameras rolled. Over the past few weeks, Teresa had been dropping subtle, and not so subtle, hints about a major change in her life. Fans on social media were buzzing with theories. Was she moving out of New Jersey? Starting a new business? Getting another cookbook deal? Or the most tantalizing theory of all, was she leaving the show that made her a household name? As the day wore on, Teresa remained elusive. She mingled with her daughters, who were now young women finding their own paths, and shared a few laughs with Dolores Catania. But when the conversation shifted to the upcoming season of RHONJ, Teresa's mood visibly shifted. "I just don't know if my heart's in it anymore," she said, almost to herself, but loud enough for Dolores to catch it. Dolores' eyebrows shot up. "Wait, what do you mean by that?" Teresa hesitated. She'd spent years bearing her soul on national television, sharing the ups and downs of her marriage to Joe, her time in prison, her father's death, and now her new life with Louis. But this was different. "I mean, I've been doing this for so long," Teresa said carefully. "Maybe it's time for something new. Something quieter." Dolores studied her friend. Tre, you've talked about stepping back before, but you always change your mind. What's different this time? Teresa's eyes softened. I've been through so much, Dolo, and I'm grateful for everything the show has given me, but I don't know if I want my life out there like that anymore. Louie and I are building something special. My girls are getting older. I've changed, you know. Dolores nodded. You've definitely grown, Trev. But the show is part of who you are. It's your legacy. Teresa's face clouded over. But at what cost? Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in the past. All the drama, the fights. It's exhausting. I want peace, Dolores, real peace. The barbecue ended with the usual fanfare of goodbyes and promises to catch up soon. But Teresa's words lingered in Dolores's mind. And she wasn't the only one who noticed Teresa's shift. Back at the Gorgas house, Melissa and Joe were deep in conversation. Did you hear what she said about maybe being done with the show? Melissa asked. Joe shrugged, though his expression was serious. She's been through a lot. Maybe she really is ready to walk away. But what does that mean for us? Melissa wondered aloud. Their own journey on RHONJ had been intertwined with Teresa's from the start. If she left, the dynamic of the show would shift dramatically. Meanwhile, Teresa was at home, scrolling through her Instagram feed. Her fans were as loyal as ever, flooding her posts with heart emojis and comments about her strength and resilience. But mixed in with the adoration were questions. Are you leaving the show? RHONJ isn't the same without you. Say it ain't so, Tre. She sighed, setting her phone down. The truth was, she didn't have an answer yet. All she knew was that the idea of leaving the show had been creeping into her mind more and more lately. Louie had been supportive, encouraging her to follow her heart, whatever that meant. And her daughters, especially Dia, had been surprisingly understanding. Mom, you don't owe anyone anything, Gia had told her during a late-night conversation. You've given so much of yourself to the show. Maybe it's time to focus on you. But leaving wasn't just about walking away from the cameras. It was about redefining her identity. For over a decade, she'd been Teresa Giudice, reality TV royalty. Could she be just Teresa, a mom, a wife, a businesswoman, without the Bravo spotlight? The next day, Teresa met with Andy Cohen for lunch in Manhattan. The two had shared countless memorable moments over the years, from fiery reunion showdowns to heartfelt one-on-one interviews. Andy had heard the rumors, of course, and he wanted to hear directly from Teresa what was going on. So, Tre, Andy began, sipping his iced coffee. What's this I hear about you maybe leaving the show? Teresa looked at him, her expression unreadable. I don't know, Andy. I'm thinking about it. It's just a lot. Andy nodded. I get that, but you know you're the heart of RHONJ. The show wouldn't be the same without you. Maybe it's time for it to be different, Teresa said quietly. I'm proud of everything I've done, but I'm not the same person I was when I started. I've grown, and I want my life to reflect that. Andy leaned back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. Well, whatever you decide, you know we'll support you. But I'll say this, you've got more stories to tell, Tre, and I'd hate to see you go before you're ready. That night, Teresa sat with Louie in their living room, a glass of wine in her hand. They talked about everything, their future, her career, their family. Whatever you decide, I'm here for you, Louie said. But you're Teresa Giudice. You can do anything you set your mind to. Teresa smiled, her heart full. For the first time in a long time, she felt at peace. Whether she stayed on RHONJ or stepped away, she knew one thing for sure. Her best chapters were still ahead.